Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Schmidt here, Osakis Elementary Principal, coming to you on Thursday afternoon, August 27th. And I just want to share with you some elementary school updates. I know a lot of people are anxious for the beginning of the school year. There's a lot of questions and unknown. And I know you parents had to make a difficult decision on whether you wanted your child to be in-person learning or distance learning. And I'm going to discuss both those models with you here today. But I want to remind you, as we start our school year, and as we go through our school year, please be patient, please be kind. You know, our teachers are not machines, they're humans too, and they're working very hard. They're going above and beyond their contracted time to get ready for this school year. They're anxious too, they're overwhelmed too, and they have families themselves. They have their own concerns, but they put a lot into every single day for your student, for your child. So please bear with us. I know people want information, and I'm going to try to give you as much as I can today, but we want to make sure that we are getting everything ready before we give out false information or false hope on certain things. So here we go. Let's talk about in-person learning real quick. Those of you that chose in-person learning, I want to remind you that it's not much different than what it's going to be every other year. Okay, it truly is not going to be much different. The schedule might change a little bit, but not really for you parents. Okay, we're going to try to make it look as same as it's always been. Yes, we are going to sanitize more. That's a good thing. Yes, we're going to distance a little more. That's not a bad thing. We have to wear masks. You know, that's a state mandate. We don't have a choice. Okay, so our mask policies on our school website. I'll kind of show you some things on the school website right at the end. But speaking of the website, you guys need to really utilize the website and the back to school update tab. There's a lot of information there, right in the palm of your hand and your cell phone. You can get a lot of information. We also sent out a letter for elementary, high school activities and a school calendar that went out on Tuesday afternoon. Most of you should have received that by now or will be getting that very soon. The other thing is please continue to utilize Skyward. Make sure your information is up to date. Your phone number, email address, mailing address, whatever you had put in there to begin with, make sure that's still up to date because that's a form for us to communicate with you. Also, there's information in there, like I said before, your child's report card, your child's grades for their whole academic career, their schedule, food service. Also, you can see who their teacher is this year. So please continue to utilize that. If you need help with it or need to update any information, please contact the elementary office. But going back to in-person learning, we're going to build in extra mask breaks. Everybody in preschool through sixth grade is going to have a set recess time. Okay, we're going to build in extra mask break time. Also, students will be able to take their masks off for breakfast, for lunch, for snack or milk break. Okay, we know that we don't want students in masks all day long. Nobody wants that. We're going to keep them safe and distant, but we're also going to, wear the mask because we are required to. When I say mask, I'm talking about cloth mask, disposable mask, scarf, bandana, neck gaiter, or face shield. And the face shield has to go from the forehead to the chin towards the ears and cover the face. Our teachers are going to be wearing face shields as much as possible so students can see their face, they can see their mouths. We know that learning is better that way. Okay? So like I said, we're preparing to give them the best experience of in-person learning we can under these circumstances. And along the way, we're going to learn some hygiene as well. We're going to promote hand washing first, hand sanitizer second. We want to wash hands. We know that's the safest route, but we also are going to utilize hand sanitizer. We're going to sanitize rooms, desks, all that stuff. All right. Distance learning. For those of you that chose distance learning, please know that your child will be required to log in and talk and be a part of a lesson every single day. So you need to have that ability, parents, to make sure that your child is logging in when they're supposed to and be accountable every day. For distance learning, for grades kindergarten through second grade, Mrs. Van Watermelen will be teaching those students. In grades 3 through 6, it's going to be team taught. Mrs. Herzog will be teaching the reading, and Mrs. Dahlheimer will be teaching the math for grades 3 through 6, and then they're going to co-teach the social studies and science. More information will be sent to you on that. But please remember, we need parents to come on Wednesday, September 2nd, between 4 and 7 at the north entrance. That's the high school entrance. Parents that are doing distance learning, please pull up, tell us your child's name and grade. We'll give you their technological device, whether it's an iPad or a Chromebook, depending on what grade they're in, along with textbooks and other materials that they're going to need to get started. Okay, and that is Wednesday, September 2nd from 4 to 7. Also, parents, we need you to go on to the school website, which I will show you, and make sure that you are filling out the technology form. And what that does is it allows us then to give you their student iPad or Chromebook to use for distance learning. And remember, that is just for distance learning students and families at this time. For in-person learning, you'll be coming to school just like normal every other day, every other year, just with some different guidelines. We're going to keep you safe and secure. But speaking of that, bus times are the same. Bus routes are the same. The only time they would change is if you change places. If you have a different address, you moved, you need to contact the district office to make sure that we have you down for the right bus route. But otherwise, the bus route and times are not really going to change. Keep in mind that students are not allowed in the school until 8:10 in the morning, right? So if they need to come to school before 8:10, you need to set up before school child watch, and students are expected to be out of the building by 3:10 every day. If they need to stay beyond that, they have to set up an individual time where they're working with a teacher, or they will have to be at child watch, which you'll have to set up as well. So please note that students cannot be in the school before 8:10, and they'll go directly to their classroom. In the elementary, we'll be utilizing our lockers. Students will not have to bring backpacks around the hallways and from class to class. So please just know that we will be using lockers. We're just going to stagger the shifts when students are out there so we don't have a large group. A couple other reminders: we don't have a traditional open house this year. Obviously, we can't bring in a lot of people from the outside in one setting. So we do have a virtual open house. However, if you would like to meet with your classroom teacher, you can set up an individual time for that meeting. Just reach out to them via email or phone call. Our teachers will be in on Monday, August 31st, full-time, back on their normal schedule. Like I said, a lot of them have been in here putting in a lot of extra time, but please know they'll be back Monday, and you can set up those individual times if it works out for you guys to find a mutual time for individual meetings. I'm always willing to give tours, meet with families. So if it doesn't work out for your classroom teacher and it works out for me, I would be more than happy to do that for you. But just know that that's a possibility. Another thing I want to share with you is students will be passing by a thermal scanner. Staff will as well every day when they come into school. They're not going through any device. They're not having anything close to them. They're just going to pass by it. And every staff and student gets signed a temperature, and that's a way for us to check temperatures really quickly. If a student does have a high temperature over 100.4, we will pull them aside. They won't be isolated. They won't be quarantined. They'll be put in a different room, and we will assess them, and we'll be calling parents at that time. But there will be no shame. There'll be no isolation, no quarantining. We'll just handle it in a professional manner. So that's pretty much updates. Again, utilize our website, utilize Skyward. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to call or email. Okay, let me show you the website really quick. There's some information on there that parents, if you haven't received yet, we want you to utilize. So if you look here, parents, here's the homepage to our school website. Right here in the middle, back to school updates. It's underlined. Click on that. It has a lot of information. For example, the back to school information for elementary, high school, our mask policy, activities update. But here's one I really want to point out. Our supply list is also right here, but they're also at local stores. But this one right here, if you're doing distance learning, you must do the 2020-2021 Network Agreement Form K6. You must complete this online so your child can get their iPad or Chromebook. If you have any questions, parents, please give us a call. We look forward to serving you. Have a great weekend, everybody.